Hey G, show me yours and I'll show you mine.
You go first.
Okay, I feel really bad, but don't be jealous.
Okay. Oh my God.
Isn't it
Okay.
heavenly?
It's heavenly.
Taco de
Yes.
carne asada. What do you got for me?
You-
Show me yours.
Mine?
Oh, al
Tacos de pastor.
pastor. No mames.
Oh, yes.
All right, let's just eat these up before we start our episode. Purate.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Mm.
Mm. So if you want to hear and learn everything you need to know about tacos, keep watching. This is not the podcast you are looking for.
If you're looking for the same old content delivered by the same old people, you are on the wrong pod.
This podcast has life form. You are listening to Stash and Lash.
You're listening to Stash and Lash, the show where we talk about everything that unites us as Mexicans.
One living in the US and one living in Mexico. The Stash and Lash Show. Is this thing on?
And welcome back to this amazing, epic episode of the Stash and Lash Show. Everything that we just talk about it, G. And I am your host, Ed Stasho.
Along with the Lash. Hi, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
I hope everybody's doing well. Again, we took a little break because, spring break, but we're back. How are you, my friend?
I am hungry. That's why
Me too.
I'm hungry, and I've been waiting for this episode because not only are we eating our favorite food and what we are known for, both from the Mexico side and the US side, but we get to share our love for this and our passion for this food, right, G?
It's my favorite food in the whole wild world. I mean, yes, if you think about Mexico, you immediately maybe I don't know, but I think everybody thinks about tacos and food and street food and everything around a taco that is, oh my God, like everything can be turned into a taco if you think about it. Maybe not everything, but maybe you can. I don't know. We're going to talk about it deeply.
Yep.
But yes, we were holding into this episode because we were like, okay, we have to be super prepared. We have to have all the facts, all the information, everything. And of course, we need to have our tacos.
Yeah, we
Like,
need to eat them while we're talking. So
of course.
pardon us if we're chewing away. I don't know about you, but I can't
I'm
hold.
sorry.
I gotta eat and talk. You know what I mean?
We're gonna have to put a disclaimer here, like, hey, you might get hungry and excuse the chewing sounds.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you go and buy a tacos, don't get mad at us. Thank us. You're welcome. We gave you the gift of taco.
Exactly.
So yeah, thank you, G. I think this is one that we've been looking forward to because again, that's definitely one thing that unites us is our food. And nothing speaks louder than el taco. I mean, you totally named it. If you think of Mexico, if you don't think taco right off the bat when it comes to food, I don't know what you're thinking. There's a lot of options, but that's like the staple, no? Como dicen, like this is like the thing that we're known for around the world.
And it's so easy if you think about it. Like, it's so easy. You can eat it on the go. You can get them like really easy. Like, they're so easy to make. Like, the foundation of a taco is la tortilla. I hope this episode was more in Spanish because I could like,
It'd be like, yes, okay,
yeah, exactly.
vámonos.
It would be like, yes. But yeah, if you think about the foundation, la tortilla, and yeah, so
That's
so
really it. That's the
easy.
base. Yeah.
It's a base. It's a base. Like, you can think about un taco in three parts. Like, I can think about la tortilla, the filling, the meat, or wherever you're putting
The
in the
base. Yeah, I mean,
tortilla,
mm-hmm.
and la salsa. You cannot go wrong.
That's like the holy trinity of a taco, right? You have to have
I know.
the tortilla, which, by the way, there's several kinds of tortillas too. So there's you think of more traditional the corn, but even the corn has a lot of different flavors. And I've tasted all different kinds of tortillas, and I think a taco, if it doesn't have a good tortilla, it's just missing something. Because I've had tortillas that have no flavor, that are just like or hard.
It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one because it seems so simple, but yet it has like, you have to be able to master the tortilla making. That's true.
No, and it's got to be fresh. To have a tortilla, you got to like freshly make them. For me, my best tacos is freshly made tortilla in the parrilla, and then taking out and then put that, and it's like, oh, everything is fresh and delicious. And oh, sorry,
Homemade,
folks.
delicious, exactly. And again, it's so easy and it's cheap in a way. I mean, tortillas, corn overall is like cheap and you can make it like so easy. You
Yeah,
can have a cheese taco, you can have a beef taco, you can have an aguacate taco. Like it's so simple. And
yep. It's got.
again, almost everything you put inside a tortilla can be considered a taco.
And we'll talk a little bit about that too, because there's some other types of food around the world that have a similar concept, right? Because something has, I call it a vessel, right? Something that holds something in. Um, we can talk about that if we have time, but let's go into this topic and more of what do we know about the origins of the tacos. So I'm gonna go, and a lot of my stuff, of course, is coming based off some of the research and things that I know, but also, of course, we love Netflix. So there is a docu-series in Netflix called The Taco Chronicles. They actually have a second season that came out, I think, the end of last year, if I'm correct. And I mean, if you want to know about tacos, you're gonna learn some stuff here, right? They do a good job in giving you some history behind it, some regions, what are they known for, and then they really do a good job in showing some of the staple places that are known for the different kinds of tacos. And again, they did a phenomenal job. I enjoyed it. G unfortunately only saw a few episodes because her stomach was growling and she's like, enough. I'm gonna get in trouble.
I had to stop. But yeah, I really enjoyed the 2 episodes I watched. And funny enough, it was about my favorite tacos. So that was good. That was a good watch. But I got like so hungry. But yeah, that was a good they did a very good job like representing everything and the facts and where it came from, and especially el taco de suadero, which is my personal favorite. So yeah, we're going to talk about that later.
Yeah, they did a good job in breaking it down. And then again, they made a second season of additional stuff. Well, I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, give me some more. But I also like it that it was in Spanish, right? So I love that too. It was fully Spanish. And of course, the first episode was the taco de pastor. But here's a couple things that I learned, G, and then let me know what you learned. But again, there isn't, when they were, doing, people have been doing the research and looking at, hey, when did the taco originate? And a lot of individuals like, you know what, we really haven't pinpointed down to one, but there's some theories of where it originated. And one of the ones I came across was somebody said, about 1800s or so, in the mines in Mexico when they were mining, they would call a stick of dynamite a taco. So, which was interesting, right? When they look back in records and stuff, they would find a definition of a taco, and it would say, yeah, it was, some kind of paper thing that was wrapped in gunpowder and whatever, and ignites. I'm like, that's dynamite. So, if you pay attention and you kind of look at it, it looks like a roll taco, right? Like a flauta maybe, right? Or some kind of roll taco, as we call it here in the U.S. These are very popular. They call them taquitos, right? Little rolled tacos. And it resembles the dynamite. So I can see the resemblance there. And I guess there's even a taco de minero, right? That is also known. So there's that connection there. So folks saying that it might have been there, but a lot of the natives and a lot of different tribes and things like that would make like a tortilla or some kind of vessel as well. And would use that to eat or to put, to house some kind of meat or some kind of product as well. And of course, as we know, a lot of the Indians and natives would use a lot of corn. So
yeah. And my theory goes like way back. Like we have to go like travel in time way back to pre-Hispanic times, because what I found is that Moctezuma, el emperador Azteca, he used actual tortillas as a spoon to eat his food, which was mostly frijoles, chile. So he used tortillas, like because corn was here actually in America, in Central America, and they developed the process of nixtamalización. This is what I'm saying. A lot of words are in Spanish,
You don't
so I don't
translate.
I don't
You
know
can't
exactly.
translate nixtamal. I don't think you can
Exactly.
translate. So just say yeah.
Yeah, so they mastered nixtamalización, which is basically boiling the corn with cal. How do you say cal? So
um,
sodium, something like that.
is
I
that what
don't
that
know
is? I
I
don't
don't
know.
know the name cal. And you boil it and you combine it and you did you find it?
I'm
I'm
searching, but go ahead.
intrigued. I'm intrigued.
It's got like lime.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm
That's
sorry about
okay.
this
Yeah,
one.
well, in Spanish, some of the stuff won't translate well, right? So
Yeah.
that right, but mixtamal is what is the base
Mixed
for
up,
what.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's basically what came, and when you mix those ingredients together and you get this paste,
Hmm.
which is with you what you make tortillas from.
Mm-hmm.
So this goes like way back, and actually they didn't make exactly tacos back then. Again, they were using the tortillas like spoons, like in India, like they use the naan to get the food,
Mm-hmm.
like something like that.
Yeah, like in
And
the Middle Eastern use like the pita bread to grab them.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean this again very similar, right?
Very
Sometimes.
similar,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Like this is with corn, naan, and other types of this kind of accessory. I don't know what they use it for. Is made with flour or wheat,
Mm-hmm.
and in this case is with corn.
Yeah.
And actually, funny fact, I don't know if you know about this, but Hernan Cortés, when he came to Mexico and they were winning. Of course, they took over. Spain took over Tenochtitlan and everything else.
Yep.
So he made a party. He made a feast with a lot of pigs that were
Mm-hmm.
sent to him from Cuba, and they made this estofado, this stew, and a lot of people that were still local brought tortillas to offer to them for their feast. And he came up, funny enough, with el taco de carnitas, because he took a
Another
tortilla
staple.
and he took the pork and he made, and that is what they say
Yep.
originated the el taco de carnitas. So this goes like way back, way back.
Yep. And again, this is a wonderful thing about the taco is that they really can pinpoint
Mm-hmm.
one specific time that someone said, "Ha, I invented the taco,"
Exactly. Like,
right? I think it's just one of those things that just kind of happen. People don't even know what it is, right? And they just kind of use it, and eventually it just evolved and become this. I mean, again, this amazing food that we enjoy and love, and all over the world, not just
all
here.
over the
And
world, and it's a
yeah,
staple. And I mean, not for nothing, we're considered Mexican cuisine. It's considered like cultural heritage of humanity. And because it's so like we have a lot of dishes and they're like very complex, but at the same time you have tacos that are very simple. So you have like a great variety of foods,
yeah.
and you cannot go wrong with a taco. And you can find them, I think, right now, if you ask somebody around the world, I think it's going to be very hard if they don't know what a taco is, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
I think everybody knows what a taco is. Like,
Especially now in today's where everything is so globalized, right? I mean,
yeah,
I think everywhere that you go people would at least know what a taco is. And I'm sure if we somebody in Africa, in the continent Africa, would know what a taco is, right? Like, oh yeah, and they probably put their own spin to it. And that's what maybe we'll
exactly.
talk about is that yeah, it's known for Mexico, but a lot of places have embraced the taco and have made it a little different in different ways. And I've been to various parts here in the U.S. where I'm like shocked what they're doing with tacos, and I'm like, what is this? Like, oh my gosh, this is different. Oh, it's not bad, but it's unique. So I think it'd be cool, gee, if we kind of take, we're not going to go through because honestly, this can be an episode. This reminds me of, I think we were teasing about this, how, like in Forrest Gump, remember Bubba Gump? We can go on for ages about like, what kind of, there's a pastor taco, there's a pollo
Fish
taco,
taco, shrimp taco, beef taco, pork taco, veggie taco,
veggie taco.
you name it.
the taco. It's probably even like a taco with like nothing. A taco desnudo, right? Just a tortilla
Tortilla con sal, of course,
or butter.
of course.
The butter with the flour tortilla. And have you had that?
Yeah, I
Oh,
no, but where you said butter, and I was thinking corn tortilla because
no, no, no.
I'm not a huge
I'm
fan of corn
flour.
tortilla. I'm not.
Yeah. Flour tortillas are popular here in the US. I prefer the corn, but
Yeah.
you go a lot of places and a lot of people in the US prefer the flour tortilla, which
Yeah, because the flour tortilla is much consumed in el norte del país.
yep.
And I mean, Arizona is like right there.
Right,
So
with Sonora, if you think about like the Sonora area, yep, very so that's where we have I see a lot more the carne asada over here. So
yeah.
all right. So let's check this out. So when we talk about tacos, yes, there's a lot of different things that you can put into it, as G just did a good job in describing. But in Mexico, these I would say are the top. I don't even know how many, but these are the ones. These are the staples, right? And G, let me know if there's anything that's missing that's a staple for you. There's one in this picture that I don't really consider a staple. I
Okay.
think it's like not as good. But here we go. So we have las de carnitas, cabeza, pollo, buche, lengua, tripa, asada, chorizo, sudero, or suadero,
Mhm.
and el
Suadero.
pastor. El pollo, like yes, I have, but I don't think it meets up to the other standards. I had it, but I don't really like. I don't know. I think out of all of them, that's probably the one I don't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider it with the rest. Like it is one.
I see chicken more into a flauta
Mm-hmm.
than a taco. Like,
Yep. I mean, you can, right? There's nothing you can't, but it's not like the first thing that comes to my mind.
No. Everything else is absolutely correct and delicious.
and delicious. So we're gonna talk about our top 5 as well, because again, there's so many to pick from. And oh my gosh,
mouth is watering.
And here's another thing, right? When you look at a taco, like a lot of the tacos in Mexico and here in the US, it's sometimes I find it strange when I don't see it having. You have to have your thoughts. Two tortillas or one tortilla?
Oh, 2.
Yeah.
Of course, la original y la copia.
Right.
I don't know if that translates well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you got to, and I think a lot of it too. You don't want to grab your taco and it fall apart. You have to have it protected.
Yes, absolutely.
So there's times I don't see that, right? And I think a lot of times the reason why I don't is because the taco is too hard, like the tortilla, right? Like it gets overcooked or something. You have to have it nice and soft.
Yes.
And a little bit of, con un poquito grasita and cooked and vámonos, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So she's like, all right, see, you know your stuff. I tell you, when I go to Mexico, I'm in trouble. I have to be mindful of not going crazy. And I'll tell you some stories here in a second.
Oh, you're going to tell me in person because FYI, we're going to meet next week. Yay! Finally.
Next week. It's insane.
And we're going to eat tacos.
We're going to take some pictures. That's for sure. We're going to have some, and we're going to talk about it. You know what? Our next episode, G, should be Mexico City trip. Like, it should be like, hey, what to do when you go to Mexico City? What
Of course, I like that.
There you go.
For sure.
There you go. On the spot, folks. What? All right. So we're going to talk about I call this the big kahuna, the number one, like the boss of the Mexican taco. This is my opinion. Let me know if you think it is.
Okay.
But G kind of already showed it a little bit. Totally the taco al pastor. For me, when I think of taco from Mexico, that no matter where you go, this taco is you can't replicate it. You can try, but it just has a special taste and a special way of doing it than el taco al pastor, right? And a couple things around the pastor, as you can see, it has it has the roots all the way back to Lebanese culture, right? Arabic culture, with a shawarma style, where if you ever go, you've seen that. We call it el trompo in Spanish. But where they would, again, marinate the meat with adobo. And what I find and this is pork, right? It's adobo marinated. And every taco shop in Mexico has some base, right? You got your vinegar and some chiles and things like that. But there's a lot of secret recipes at each of the taco shops, even your family and whatever, that they add their own special ingredient, and you keep it secret. Like, you don't share this with nobody because this is unique to your taqueria. And that's what makes, and of course, as you see, the interesting thing about it, this is layers of meat, right? Like, can you imagine just putting one, and it's an art form. You gotta like put the little meat in a bit in the beginning, and then you gotta go up. And a trompo translates to like I don't know what you call that, like a top or something, like a funnel almost, right? So you have to kind of go from little to big.
Yeah.
But a couple things there about the the origins of this taco. G, anything else to add that you know about the taco al pastor?
No, I was thinking about other types of tacos that are very local to specific regions of the country, because every region, like the north, the center, and south, obviously have like different kind of ingredients or specific dishes. So every taco is like adapted to those dishes. But el taco al pastor you can find anywhere, like everywhere in the country. Like right now, I'm living in the south of the country in Campeche, state of Campeche. And I mean, I got tacos al pastor, and we get tacos al pastor like almost every weekend. And this specifically, I can think, and also maybe bistec, like it's very generic. You can find like almost anywhere.
Right. You can find everywhere, but I would say to your point, there are certain regions that it's just like known for, like, this is like their specialty, or kind of the mecca of where this is from. And I think for me, it's Mexico when it comes to taco al pastor. Like, this is like, that's where you would find. Oh yeah, there was a lot of. I mean, when I went there, I had never tasted any other pastor that meet to that level. Like, they're good in other places.
The thing is, okay, and I don't want to sound okay. So I am from Mexico City, so I can just talk wonders about Mexico City. And the fact is, and maybe not a lot of people would agree with me, but I think the reality is that in the center of the country, and like the capital of the country, you find almost everything. Like, you can find all kinds of that. Like, if you have a fish taco that is specifically from Mazatlan or Sonora, you can find it here. Like in the city, you can find it there. So I think you are correct in saying that you've never tasted another taco al pastor like the ones you tasted in Mexico City. But at the same time, if we're going to talk about the taco that is specifically from Mexico City, it's el taco de suadero. Did you know that?
No, I did not. But I know I had that as well, and really good as well. Yep. But for me, I don't know. I just said pastor. But again, like, to your point, it's a big city, right? It's a huge, massive city. But what it's known for as well. And then if you go, I mean, even going back to the documentary, they really call out. And I don't know if you're familiar familiar with. I mean, you're from there, but it's so big, right? Like, you wouldn't know. Like, there's so much to see, right? I mean, you've explored it, but there's just so many places, so many things and cities and corners of the city. But they mentioned a place called Lorenzo Botorelli.
Lorenzo Boturini.
Yeah, and they said that there's a lot of El Pastor places there. Like, that's like an area. It's like El Pastor, Taqueria.
I think that is where the Lebanese people established themselves when they came to the city. I think that's where the taco al pastor
might originated.
Born. Yes, exactly.
It could have, yeah, because again, I didn't know that. Wow. Okay, so see, there's another connection there. And again, you did mention too that when what happened with the Lebanese folks is that when they came, they did mostly like sheep or lamb, right?
Exactly.
But they didn't have that here. And you mentioned, I'm glad you brought that up, because again, when Cortez came and the pork came from Cuba, that's where we replace the lamb with the pork. So,
exactly.
Oh, what?
Interesting.
Fun facts, Potarelli. So, and I actually went there. It's so funny that, again, actually, before I go into tell you my adventure when I went to Mexico City a few years ago, one of the things that comes up a lot is that some people, and let me know if this is true. I've heard that it is, but let me know if you've heard the same thing, G. That there's a thing that people say, piña or no piña. Have you heard that thing? Is it a thing? Is it really a thing?
Yeah. Because, okay, part of the tropicalization or adaptation from the tacos al pastor los tacos al pastor originales from Líbano to los tacos al pastor we know today from Mexico, they added a pineapple on top of the trompo. I'm sorry for the Spanglish, but I cannot help it. There's a pineapple on top of el trompo, and every time the taquero would slice the meat for el taco, he will like slice like a little, like even the movement is like very specific, like exactly, you know what I'm talking about. He does like this movement, and he slices a little bit of pineapple into el taco. But not everybody likes it. I love it, and I think it's a staple because like it's. But I think at the same time is like if you don't like pizza with pineapple, because it's like how can you combine sour with sweet or
So
whatever.
good.
No, it's so good. I love it. But yeah, they try to ask tacos al pastor con piña o sin piña.
Yeah.
Like they
And
always
it's always a
ask
debate. And I like
Yes.
that, you know what, you made a good point. It's kind of like pizza, right? Pizza with pineapple or not, Hawaiiana or no, or it's like
Yeah.
some people cringe and some people go, oh yeah, all day.
Yes.
For me, okay, so I'm a big piña guy myself too, and plus I agree with you. I love the show that they even make some taqueros and then just do this whole and they just drop it and they catch it. They go. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
So that is one that's fascinating. So here's my journey when it comes to the pastor. So I watched the documentary again, salivating. Oh man. Had a trip to go to Mexico, and again, I've been there already a few times. I've been so awesome. I went with PVA, with the supporter group of Mexico. We went as a group. It was a good time. You know, I enjoyed some good food, but I didn't really do like a taco tour, right? Like, hey, I have to like try these different taquerias. Saw the documentary, went back again for my bachelor party, and we did the taco tour. Like, we went to the taco places that the documentary said, and it was like, 3 or 4 that they mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was a fun night. Let's just say that. I remember very little, but I remember the tacos.
I was going to ask, at what point you still remember?
So here's where it started, right? So actually, let me. I have to put these in a different order because it started off with these two, and then the third one, it did not happen, unfortunately. And maybe when I go on this time, I'll make it happen. Maybe we'll see.
We have to plan ahead.
We have to plan ahead. So here we go. Where are we at? Shawarma. I like saying that word. All right. So the first place that we stopped, and again, it was in the documentary. It was a place that was like actually a mechanic shop. That at night it turns into a taqueria. So it's a taller. They will say it in Spanish, right? And then eventually they convert it into a taqueria. And it's called El Vilcito. Taqueria El Vilcito.
El Vilcito. Yes, of course. There are plenty of those. Yeah.
So freaking good. And I went to the one that they showed in the documentary, right, where there was a taller at night. It's a mechanic shop, and they converted it into a taco shop. And it's like, it was like that, right? It was a lot of people outside. You stand. I mean, there were some seats, but very little. But when you eat a taco, you stand. You don't need to sit.
You stand. And the saying is, if you're standing, you can eat more. I don't know what it is.
Well, it digests. Yeah, I've seen
Exactly.
that. You're like,
It makes sense, right? Because if you're sitting, you're like, and you're eating. So if you're standing, yeah. So if you're eating a taco, especially on the street, and you have to stand, it's fine.
oh, and I had a lot of them. And I remember.
Pastor?
Oh yeah, pastor, all of it pastor. And I didn't even try anything else but that pastor. But I did try pastor with queso, and they put a bunch of queso on it.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like a quesadilla in a way, but it was like a taco, and it's the same kind of pastor, but a bunch of cheese. And I was just like, oh man.
Have you ever tried a gringa? And I'm talking about tacos.
I married one, but yes. So your answer, yes, I have.
I knew you were going to say that, but a gringa, do you know what it is?
Wait, still talking about the food, or
we're talking about food? We're talking.
No, I've never. No, what's the food? What is it? Tell me.
Una gringa is flour tortilla, carne de pastor.
Oh, okay.
Queso Oaxaca, which is string cheese.
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah.
American cheese, like
the yellow.
Super weird. Yellow cheese.
Oh, I don't like it.
No, but it's good. It's good.
You're like,
another flour tortilla.
Oh,
and
wow. Okay.
It's all melted and delicious. And it's like gooey.
Dude,
and
I mean,
oh my God.
There's something about melted cheese when you bite it like a pizza, but something when you just bite it and it stretches. I'm like, it's heaven.
Yeah. So next time you're in Mexico City, which we are going to be next week. Yes, we can get a gringa. A food. Gringa. That's what it's
Yeah,
called.
don't get me in trouble.
No,
Um,
no, of course not. Hi. Of course
so
not.
yeah, and actually I think I've made that at home, but not probably tasting like that though. I mean, not al pastor, of the trompo, no, not did not make
Okay.
that. But yeah, when I make my quesadillas, I definitely do the layer, right? Uh,
Sincronizada. That's called a sincronizada. Did you know
mm,
that?
synchronized tortilla swimming. I like
Synchronized
it.
tortilla. Do you add ham and cheese?
I've done it with different things, right? Yeah, I usually have ham and cheese.
Okay.
Yep, I do. I love me the Oaxaca cheese. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, the string cheese is nothing like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to use different kind of cheeses too and give it different flavors. So oh my gosh, you're just making me again go take me back to the
Drooling.
good old days. So that we did that. Oh my gosh, I ate a lot of. And my friend was taking pictures of me. Like, look at. Here's the thing, right? When you walk up, here's for my folks that ever travel there and want to go visit and eat at a taqueria like that.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be assertive. You're not going to have somebody come to you and say, "Excuse me, sir, what would you like?" Okay, all right. So
Oh
sounds good.
no.
Tally ho. All right. No, you got to be like, "Hey,
Hey,
joven,
dos
joven,
más.
joven, yo quiero." And again, there's this. There usually is one person that gets your stuff, right? And he keeps tally, either keeps tally or at the end they tell you, okay, what did you consume? And then they give you your bill at the end and you go pay, right? You don't pay up front. You just start
Mm-hmm.
consuming, which is
Mm-hmm.
pretty. Not you don't see that here in the States, G. Like here, you got to pay,
You
and then
have to ask, hey, can I have 4 tacos? And you pay for them and they give you the 4 tacos and
yep.
that's it.
And then if you
Okay.
want to get some more, you got to go back in line, and you're just like, oh,
And the funny part about taqueros in Mexico specifically, I don't know if you've noticed this, is that they're taking your order like, yeah, I'm gonna have like 4 de pastor y 3 de suadero, and they're like, okay, you too, da, 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 and they never write down anything. It's like memory. And
yeah,
when they come back, like they ask you, hey, how many were there? And you're like, 4.
4 and 3,
And they trust you completely.
yeah. Well, it's an
That's
honor
so cool.
system, and here I'll tell you this: like, be honest with them. These folks are hardworking.
Yeah.
They're doing it. They don't try to,
Don't
you
be
might
shady.
try. You might save a few pesos. It's not worth it. Like help them
No.
out. Like this is good stuff. This is what their livelihood, and
Yeah.
it's so freaking delicious, man.
It's so delicious.
And that's again, you have to be. You got to go and look for your tacos. It's not gonna come to you. You
No,
have to
it's just
go.
like dos más,
So
dos más para el güero, dos más para la güera.
and here's the thing: when I went, I was like, "Oh, I'm hungry. I'm getting my tacos." And my friends were over there going like, and then I'm over there eating. And they're like, "How'd you get your tacos?" I'm like, "Dude,
Ask.
grab a guy that has an apron and just say, 'Hey, joven.'" And they finally did it, and I'm like, "That's all you do, man. You got to do it." So
Exactly.
I was eating right off the other place we stopped, and this was late at night, really late at
I
night.
think I know. Okay. Like,
This one's called Taqueria El Borrego Viudo.
el borrego viudo. I knew it. I knew it. El
This
borrego
was
viudo
late at night.
sobre
They have all
viaducto.
kinds of tacos. Yeah, they have all kinds, right?
All kinds of tacos. And this, did you notice that you can get your tacos in your car?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that?
Where they run. It's kind of like I would say it's a version of their drive-through in a way, right?
Yes, exactly.
And they're just running, and the quicker they get your food, the better. They pride themselves in that. That's what they're known for, right? They're just going back and forth.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, the first time I went there, like a long time ago. And I remember I went with a couple of friends and they were like, hey, yeah, I would like 10 tacos de pastor. And I was like, what? I was looking at them. Are you serious? Are you ordering 10?
For yourself?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm getting 4 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was like, are you sure? And yeah, I'm with 3, I'm done. And they're like this big. They're like tiny,
they're small.
tiny tacos. And everybody was laughing at me because I didn't know. So of course everybody was ordering like over 10 tacos because they're like this big. They're so cute and so delicious. I don't like them as much as other taquerias, but they're good.
They're good. I mean, they're late night. They open, I think, all day. I don't know. It was late when we went. So
yeah.
But to your point, yeah, they were a little bit smaller. The taco or tortilla they use, but again, they have all kinds too. I mean, they had the lengua, cabeza. I mean, they had it all. But of course, they also had el pastor. And this one out at the photo I showed, I didn't have what the trompo out. Which, by the way, el trompo in English is called like the spinning top. So when you do a little spin top, that's what it is.
Cool.
Okay, so we tried that, and then the one I wanted to try, but when we went, they were closed. Which I'm like, Why
They were
are you
closed. What?
closed?
Taqueria closed?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what happened that they were closed, and I'm like, oh, this sucks. Because again, this was brought up in the documentary, and I'm like, I want to try this place out, and the owner looked pretty cool in the documentary stuff, but I cannot. We pulled up and it was closed. So it's called
Those
El Güero.
weirdos.
El
There's a
Güero.
bunch of them. Yeah. Ese está en la esquina de Circuito Interior, I think. Y Juan Escutia. My home.
You're like crying.
Oh yeah, I missed that.
But this is a known one then, G. I'm assuming. So they have various locations, but the one I want to try, I guess, is the one in, of course, in Buturelli in the area there, right? That's the original, if I'm correct. And again, when you look at, here's one thing I've learned from various different people and myself experience: when there is a big line, there's a lot of people, that's a good sign.
Yes.
It's worth the wait. Because people wouldn't wait that long for food if it wasn't good.
Exactly.
Right?
You're completely right.
That's again, if you don't know that rule, the Stash and Last just gave you some
We
knowledge.
got you.
We got your food needs up in here. So that's one. Again, I wanted to try it, but yes, have you? I'm assuming you've had it before.
Yes. Yes. But
good?
we can go this time.
Okay,
We
and
can
we'll
go
be
this
closed.
time.
Make sure that
Yes.
they don't close this time.
Yeah.
I was
Sure.
shocked. I was like, why? What?
That's weird. It depends what day
But it was super.
because
It was
sometimes-
super late though. G too. It was. I don't remember. It was in
But
the AM sometimes. So they have to close eventually.
Normally taquerias are open all week except one day because they like take a break. Like they are even open Saturdays and Sundays, and they usually take one day's break. So maybe that was the day you went.
No, they were actually, when we pulled up from the Uber. I remember we pulled up. He dropped us off, which again, he dropped us off, and we looked, and they were cleaning. They were washing all the stuff, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
and of course, we ended up going to el Borrego.
Borrego Vieudo.
We ended up going there because that was still open. So that is our story. All right. So Del Pastor, Mexico City. So now let's move on to a region that my family is from my dad's side, that they're known for this taco. And this taco, even when I'm thinking about it right now, like I'm just like, oh man, can I just literally teleport there right now and just eat some of this taco? And it's the taco de carnitas.
Michoacán.
In Michoacán. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, like they're known for their carnitas. Michoacán is like a staple of carnitas, and when you look at it, right, it's really what that is. A lot of times, like you can get it like in individual tacos, but typically the way I had it is you get the carnitas and you have your tortilla and you make your own taco. Like you just put the meat and you put your salsa and vámonos, and it's like soft and delicious, right? Like
Delicious.
Delicious. So yeah, that's one that is for me anyways, very close to home. I enjoy this taco, and I enjoy, of course, because it comes from a city where my roots are from. So I'm a big fan.
Can you get those in Arizona?
Yeah, we can. There's taqueria, not taquerias. There's carnicerias here that are opened up, and they do their own their own version of the carnitas, but not as good. Not as good. And again, the one I want to try, because I've had them in Michoacán, in Morelia, where my family lives, and I also have a family in Uruapan, and I had some there. But the ones I want to try are from Quirogan. And I heard that is a place that just has like that's like the staple of carnitas is Quirogan, Michoacán. But fun fact, what really makes the carnitas, and what I'm hearing, is that you have to have it out of this cobre, or these,
Un caso de cobre. Yeah.
Caso de cobre. And there's a place called Santa Clara de Cobre in Michoacán that actually manufactures and makes these. And this is what gives it that unique flavor, right? You have to have it. And of course, carnitas can be made with any various different. You can have it with different kind of steel, but it's the cobre that just gives it that flavor. And also what I understand is if you start the fire, it really boils it and gets it to a quick, it really cooks it quickly. It gives it that seasoning. So that's what I understand. Again, I haven't made carnitas on my own. I would love to learn for sure. What about you?
Me
What are your
too.
thoughts on the carnitas?
I love carnitas. They're in my top 10, most definitely. I am like not conventional because I don't like like, you know, maciza, like this very like specific meat that it's just meat. I don't know how to say this. Maciza, just meat. And
Hmm.
there's this other kind of like nana, buche, cuerito. Do you know that other
Yep.
type of carnita? I
Right.
love like taco de
Hmm.
cuerito. For me is like I could eat
And the
4 of those.
cuerito is like the skin, right?
It's the
So,
skin,
and that's
exactly.
what chicharrones are made out of too, right? If
Yes,
they do it. Hmm.
exactly. Yes.
Mm.
And there's, I mean, maybe if I describe it, it's not like the most appealing thing, but it's absolutely delicious. La nana
Mm.
is this like curly thing in the belly of the pork. Yes,
Hmm.
exactly. And el buche,
I love the buche.
um,
Mm.
delicious. Absolutely.
Oh,
Maciza, which is like the meat by
it's
itself.
the meat part, yeah.
I don't
It's
enjoy
okay.
that much,
Okay. You
but
like the,
yeah,
the other, like the skin and the okay.
yeah, cuerito. El cuerito is my favorite
Mm.
taco de carnitas. Yes.
I love it. Oh my gosh, so good. So moving on to another taco, and this is a taco again. You know, you can find this anywhere in Mexico. And I think the one I think about this taco, I think of breakfast. I think of
Okay.
morning. You get up in the morning and you usually see someone in a bike riding around with
Oh,
a canasta.
tacos de
Uh,
canasta. Oh,
Tacos de
tacos
canasta.
sudados.
Oh, soldados. Okay, soldados. And yes, like the soldados means like they're basically
Steamy,
steamed.
like steamed. Yes,
Yep.
exactly.
And I call these like, you know, this is like the most affordable taco you can have of all the tacos, right?
Yeah.
Like they're super cheap, and there's, you know, you can make them of all kinds, but the three that they're known for, and G, correct me if I'm wrong, is papa, frijol, but the main one is chicharrón, right?
Chicharrón prensado.
Prensado.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Yes.
Which is
those
kind
are
of like, it's
great.
the, you know, it's not like a full chicharron. It's kind of like, you know, just a little bit more. I don't even know how to
Like
describe it.
paste.
Like a paste. There you go. Yeah.
Yes, you're completely right.
But there's others that you can make, I guess, if you want to, right? But these are the three staples that people know. And usually when you go, they usually have these three.
Yes.
Is what they have, right?
I've also tried mole verde.
Mole verde. Okay, I've also
pollo.
I've seen chicharron or not chicharron, but chorizo. What else
Frijoles
have I
con
seen?
chorizo. That's also.
Mhm. Yeah. There's I mean, there's a variety out there, but these are the three that you typically would see in the canasta, you know, stand. And again, what this is canasta is a basket, right?
Yeah.
So the way it works is, again, it is steamed. They're very paste, the you know, the filling, but the tortillas are a little bit. They're not like, you know, put over a comal or anything. They're steamed.
And that
then
happened because they stacked these tacos inside the basket and they wrapped them with cloth and usually like some kind of plastic bag.
Mhm.
And they were hot, of course, when they stacked them over, and they just got like steamed. And that's how they were called sudados, which sudado means sweaty in
which
English.
which when you think about food, you don't really see that as like, oh, I don't want no sweaty tacos.
Yeah,
But
a
when
sweaty
you're like,
taco. Yeah,
but it's
that's
not
like
that they're sweaty; they're steamed.
they're steamed. Yeah, and that's why
And,
they called taco sudados.
and what I it's funny when I picture a taco de canasta, for some I always picture that blue plastic. It's just
Yeah.
somehow about the blue plastic that's just iconic. Now
Yeah.
it doesn't. It could be any kind of color, right? But the blue just stands out, and
Yeah.
it's pretty funny. It's always think about the blue. But
Those
just
are not my favorite, to be honest.
mhm,
Like, I don't know why. Like, but maybe the ones I tried, they were like very greasy
mm,
because of el chicharrón prensado. Like, it's very
that's greasy. Oh
greasy,
yeah, totally.
and I don't like. I don't know. I don't know. They're good, but they're not my favorite.
Not my favorite. Yeah, so again, I typically think of, like, when I think of morning, right? And this is something that you know, again, and this is what I love about these conversations, is from my side, we don't really have I can't go out right in the morning and find somebody driving a
Hmm.
bicycle with a canasta. It just doesn't happen, right? You would have to
Hmm.
go to a restaurant or something like that. But in Mexico, you just walk out,
Oh
and maybe
yeah,
a block or two, there's somebody there. I mean, there's several stands, right? We call them puestos, or the places that people, you know, set up, and they sell their tacos de canasta. Or you also see birria for
yeah.
breakfast, right? Typically, if you want to like a
In the
hangover food.
morning, you can go out at 7 o'clock in the morning, and you can find tamales, tacos de canasta or tacos sudados, café, pan dulce, which is also a staple, and we can talk about that in another episode of pan dulce. You can find birria,
Menudo.
barbacoa, carnitas, everything in like little stands or little like trucks or bicicletas very early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and you got your breakfast there right off the bat, and it's all
Yeah.
over. So it's just again, we don't see that here. We don't have that, which is I love when I go back and I'm already getting excited.
Yeah.
Um, all right, so this next taco, again, we're only going to cover a few. There's so many. We'll then go into like our favorite ones that we haven't covered, and then maybe some exotic ones that we've heard about, or maybe we tried. But the other one, and this is more in the northern side of the country, and this is where I see a lot of these tacos.
Hmm.
Is a taco de carne asada,
Okay.
and the reason why, right? I mean, really, you kind of think about when you think about Mexico, you think of the norte side of Mexico, and usually, for me, anyways, close to us is Sonora, but also Tijuana and other ones as well. And they have their own unique styles in a way, but really, what it is it's beef,
Hmm.
right? It's a beef and certain kinds of cuts. You can actually make this with all kinds of cuts, but the ones that are mostly known are the carnes de ranchero,
Hmm.
also
Arrachera.
the ranchera. Thank you, ranchera. And there's other cuts as well, but that one's probably the most common one or popular one for the carne asada taco. And of course, same thing. You put your adobo, you put your seasoning, and you marinate it and let it marinate. Gives it that taste. And once again, every taquero has their own formula or their own mix or recipe. But typically, what goes with the carne asada taco that I'm familiar with is, of course, the carne asada, the carne. Then you have cebolla, cilantro, and then your salsa, and maybe some guacamole on
Hmm.
top. So,
Okay.
yep. And again, this is more in the north side, right? G? Yes, you have it in other parts, but this is really mostly known in the north. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you can find like here we call it, we're in the city in Mexico City, taco de bistec o
Mhm.
carne asada o taco de arrachera, like specifically,
Of the
like not
cut. Yeah.
not carne asada. But yeah, you can ask for those kind of tacos, of course, and yeah, you can have guacamole. Not every taqueria has guacamole. Like you have to ask for it.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's basically un taco de carne. Mhm.
And the one again, there's different for me, anyways. The one I remember is I lived in Tijuana for about a year, and I remember going to the taquerias in the street, and that's what they were known for. They had
Mm.
other kinds of tacos, but oh my gosh, yeah, when they would, and what I love about this, I don't know if you enjoy this, G, but I love when they make it like the taqueros are just really quick, and it just like
Yeah,
kind of grab. They throw even the salsa or even the guacamole up in the air, and it lands on the taco. And you're
lambs
like,
exactly. Yes,
what?
it's
I
like
could be
art.
hypnotized. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
and that's what I remember seeing. Like it was just it's like your own show of your
Hmm.
food coming to you, enjoying these taqueros. Just
Taqueros are rock stars for
they're for
sure.
sure, dude. They're like automatic. Like I'm like, dude, put them to work in Amazon and bring my package fast. I bet they'll be fast, like putting stuff together. Um, but yeah, amazing, amazing. And again, that's one of my favorite tacos as well because I'm from the north. I don't know if it's in
Hmm.
G's favorite, but for me, it totally is because I grew up around it. This is what we
Yeah,
have around here. I mean, you
yeah, yeah,
go
yeah.
and you're very familiar and you see this a lot up here, especially up to Arizona.
Whoa,
Whoa.
sorry.
She was mad. She's like,
I'm
no, it's
sorry.
not my
No,
favorite.
not carne asada. No.
Gotten to that be stuck. All right. So let's talk about some unique ones. So a couple ones that are not we haven't mentioned is for me anyways. I really enjoy the carne de cabeza, the lengua. I mean, I'll tell you, lengua right now by far is my favorite taco. One of my favorite tacos because it's so soft and delicious.
Delicious.
Mm.
Yes.
And it's one that is controversial up here. A lot of people that when you talk to Americans and funny story. My dad one time when we were in California, he put a sign in front of our house and said tacos for sale. So he was selling tacos out of our house
Hmm.
and he would make tacos de cabeza, lengua, I think even carne asada, but I think mostly those. And we would have people like pull over, like, oh, shoot, there's tacos. Yeah, I'll order some. And I had this guy come in with his girlfriend. The guy looked Mexican and the girlfriend was American. And they're like, oh, and the guy was not, he looked Mexican, but he was very Americanized. And he's just
Mm.
like, oh yeah, I'll have a cabeza, and I'm like, okay, he's talking funny. I was a little kid. I'm like, he's not Mexican. He's not from Mexico. Then he goes, and I'll have what's a lengua? And then he goes, my dad's like trying to explain, it's a cow tongue. And the guy's like, and I was said before, I know it. The car was on, they took off, and I heard the car squeal, and I'm like, and I told my dad, what happened? He's like, he didn't like the lengua, mijo. And I'm like, okay. And I don't know why
Oh,
he
they're
didn't like
missing
it. It's
out.
delicious. People get freaked out about the tongue here.
Yeah. I mean, my husband is not like the biggest fan of lengua
What?
because this story is a funny story, actually. He went to a taqueria with a couple of friends a long time ago,
Uh
and
huh.
they were having tacos de cabeza because if you think about taco de cabeza, you can have every part literally
Oh,
of
the
the
head,
head of the cow,
even
like
the eyes and the brain.
cheeks, exactly, cheeks, eyes, brain, and tongue, of course. And he tells this story because he got so freaked out because in el comal where the taquero had every meat,
Uh huh.
there was like the tongue was literally like sticking out of,
Out of the
exactly.
face.
And he was like, hell no,
Hell no.
hell no. And from that day he does not like lengua because of that.
Are you serious?
Yes, yes,
Wow.
yes, yes. I
That's
could not
hilarious.
care. Yes, I do
I
not
don't care.
care.
I'm like, hey,
I
come
love
here.
it.
Vente pa' acá.
Exactly. Exactly. I
Which
love
is
lengua.
funny. It was the opposite for me. Like when I took my wife to go visit family in California, and my cousin was making tacos de cabeza, and just like kind of similar. There was the pot, and you know, and the head was sticking out, the teeth, the front teeth, and then the tongue. And I was like, "What's in there?" And I'm like, "That's tacos de cabeza." He goes, "Oh, okay. I want to try some." And I'm like, "All right, cool." And she ate.
Oh,
She's like,
cool.
"Oh, this is so good." And she's fascinated by it, and I'm
Yay.
like, "Okay." This is why I married her.
Yes.
And
Yes.
she can out Chile me anytime. She loves salsa, and she
I
beats
was
me.
going to ask you next about we have to talk about salsas.
Hmm.
Like if you
Yeah,
can take a strong salsa, can you
I
take
could.
the
Oh
heat?
yeah, I could. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I will probably. There's certain ones I start to, my nose is running, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm still eating them. And there's a certain limit where I'm just like, okay, I can't enjoy the taco anymore when it's too much. But yeah, I love me some hot salsa.
Really?
My wife, oh, you don't? Okay, all right, we'll find out. We'll find out.
We'll find out. Yeah, we'll find out.
Okay,
So
okay, there, partner.
she eats a lot of salsa.
Yeah, she does, and she
Yay.
can beat me when it comes to spice. But I enjoy some good spicy food. I can hang. I can hang.
You can hang
Yeah,
habaneros, salsa de habanero.
habanero, chile de
Really?
árbol, chile.
Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah, bring it.
Great. Great.
All right, challenge accepted. I feel like
Challenge accepted.
I feel
Oh,
like somebody doesn't believe me.
I eat salsa with a little bit of food. So yeah, I'm like all about the salsa. Yes, yes, I'm a freak when it comes to salsa. Yes, my tacos and
You
everything is
douse it.
drenched.
I
Yes,
love it, man. Oh my gosh. And
drenched.
again, it's funny because when I prefer out of the two, I prefer the red.
Hmm.
The green, yeah, for certain, when I think of like tacos de lengua, I think green salsa.
Yeah,
From my, like, I find that connection for me. Um, when it comes to carnitas,
red.
I think red. Yeah,
Hmm.
red.
Oh,
Carne.
martajada. Do you know what martajada means?
Yeah, when it's in that
The
like a
molcajete.
rock thing where they put the stone and oh yeah, molcajete.
Molcajete. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Come on, G. I ain't no
I just
rookie.
have to ask. I
Come
just have to
on, Jay.
ask.
Come on.
I just have to ask my friend.
Come on, Lasho. All right. So we had the lengua, we had the cabeza. What other tacos that we missed? Oh, the tripa. That was on that
Tripa.
list.
I
Tripa.
like that,
I like it
but
to a point. I can't eat as much as I can others. I like it. I enjoy a one or two, but not a lot.
I mean, the name says it all. You have to be like extremely careful. Like you have to
I
really
have to clean it
trust.
good.
Exactly. You have
Yeah,
to really trust the place you're eating tacos de tripa.
yeah.
I mean, how can you hate lengua? And my husband adores tacos de tripa. And I'm like, dude, like, come on. Yes, exactly. I know. I
Like for
know.
me, the
But
tripa, I can eat it, but to your point, yeah, it's got to be. And it has a interesting texture. Like
it's good because it's
it
marinated mostly in orange. Like you leave it to mi abuelita used to make tacos de tripa, but it was a pain because just cleaning the tripa like extreme, like it was like 10 times or more, like
and it's
cleaning,
not a good.
cleaning,
Like
cleaning.
if you see
The
if
smell.
you see somebody, yeah, the smell. Yeah, if you're gonna try a taco de tripa, don't watch them clean it. Don't.
No,
You're
don't
not
watch
gonna
it
want to eat
clean
it.
it, and don't watch it get like boiled for the first time.
Yeah, Just eat it.
Just keep that in mind. Just
Eat
eat
it.
it, and don't ask.
Don't ask questions.
Eat it. Yes, exactly. Don't ask. But yeah,
That's one that's again, also not many people will like it, and it's interesting, right? We mentioned buche. Buche is my favorite, one of my favorite tacos too.
yes.
And again, I remember that's also in Michoacan, where I would be helping my aunt. Well, again, I went to school there for about a year as well during like high school, and I remember helping her at a store, and she would bring her payment for me to work for her, so she had some cheap labor. She would bring me tacos de buche, and I'll be happiest
Of course.
14-year-old, 15-year-old in the world. Like, but yeah, love it. All right, what other tacos that we missed that you enjoy?
Campechanos, I love those.
What is that?
Campechanos
Explain
es
to me
taco de
that.
suadero,
Mhm.
taco de suadero con longaniza, like mixed.
Okay, longaniza is like a sausage, right? Kind of.
Yes, chorizo. It's the
Chorizo.
same thing as chorizo. It's another kind of chorizo. Yeah, that's very good. Barbacoa, it's awesome. Barbacoa. We also have like two types of barbacoa, which is maciza and pancita, which is the belly, literally, of the lamb, with a lot of seasoning and like veggies, and it's delicious. What else I'm missing? Cochinita. Do you know what that is?
I mean,
Tacos de cochinita.
Isn't that the same thing as the carnitas, or it's different?
No, it's different. It's also pork, and it's also some kind of adobo based on orange also. But this is a dish from Yucatan, from the south of the country, from Mérida, and it's absolutely delicious. You have to try those. You have to look for those. Cochinita pibil. Cochinita pibil. That's amazing.
I gotta try that.
What else?
We can't forget that there's also tacos, like the seafood tacos, right? Tacos de
camarón, de pescado.
Camarón, pescado, yeah, any kind of fish, right?
They're good. They're good.
Yeah. So I mean, that's just what we know, right? There's some interesting ones that I've tried. Here in the U.S., these are the Mexico tacos. In the U.S. tacos, you're talking like they're putting chicken. Was it called chicken tenders or like chicken fingers in a taco? They're putting
I have like mixed feelings about that, and I don't want to sound like this. Oh, because you're Mexican and you have the tacos there. I mean, I do, but at the same time, like it's like why?
Yeah.
Like I would never ever understand the hard shell tacos. I cannot deal with that.
Those are Mexican, right? Those are people just and people. I mean, they have in Mexico they have tacos dorados, but those aren't the hard shell. Those are like
tostada.
It's a tostada, like dorada, like they fried them themselves, not like this the shell that's already made perfect.
It's exactly like the shell, and you cook like beef with something called taco seasoning, which I don't even want to know what's in there.
No, you don't want to know.
I don't want to know what's in there. Like you make the carne molida, which is like a ground beef.
It's like a cheap way to make like
it's like lettuce, like a lot of lettuce and cheddar cheese.
A lot of lettuce and big chunks of tomato. Some about the U.S. Mexico food. Sometimes I think they think a lot of tomatoes. Like they put tomatoes on everything and yellow cheese, like
and cheddar cheese and cream.
And cream, sour cream.
I get it.
Crema's good. Crema's good with like sopes. Flautas. Yeah.
But not that. I mean, I get it. And I don't want to sound shady at all. I get it. You just want to adapt.
You're a purist.
I've got into like discussions with people because they're like, but they're good because, for example, Taco Bell. When we were I was in Los Angeles with a couple of friends a couple of years ago, and we got in so late that nothing else was open but Taco Bell, and we were like, okay, whatever. I'm going to order. No me acuerdo ni qué era.
Taco Supreme or something.
I don't know. I don't even remember. And I was like, yeah, whatever, sure. Oh my god, I'm sorry, but I cannot relate.
It's like, not the same.
You cannot call that. At that, and a funny story, I in my research for this episode, like why Taco Bell is not a hit in Mexico, like for obvious reasons. But I mean, like they tried two times to open Taco Bell. I think one in Tijuana and another in Monterrey, I think.
And
they lasted like a year
and
because it was like no way. Like I cannot like no,
And
no,
even when it comes here to the States, like if you're from Mexico and all that, it's rare that you see a Mexicano. I mean, there's some that are more Americanized, in second, third generation, but Mexico, Mexicano, or ones that either were born there like me or grew up with eating good, Mexican traditional food. No, not our fan. Like I'm like, what is this? There's like there's a Del Taco también. There's a
I
lot of
mean,
these chains that they just put, and again, they want to try different things. I get it. And if you're talking Texas, there's other types that they have they call breakfast tacos, which again,
mhm,
I already did that myself. I would make, huevos,
uh-huh,
scrambled eggs and put with
huevos
fruit
revueltos, uh-huh,
and just eat it like that, right? But
yeah.
it's all kinds. So there's a lot of variety, G, and some we don't like and some we do,
But again, I don't want to sound shady at all. I apologize, but I just don't understand some of because, for example, at the beginning, Taco Bell was like Mexican food. Like, no.
No,
And
it's not.
right now, what they did, it had to be like inspired in
Yeah, you
Mexican
have
food.
to
You
like, yeah,
have
you
to,
can't be
because it's
calling it that
not.
because it's not
Exactly, because
authentic.
it's not. And I
Nope.
get it. I get I A for effort. I mean, I cannot judge. But for me, that is not, and it will never will be
Nope.
Mexican food. I'm sorry.
So let's wrap up because time is flying by.
It's
Let's talk
flying.
about yeah, we can. This could be like 3 episodes. Let's talk about our top 5 tacos. All right. So I told you,
Mhm.
hey, send me your top 5 in order from first 1 to 5. I'll say mine. So here we go. Top 5 tacos for Stash and Lash.
Number
5.
Oh, 5.
So you put cochinita.
Okay.
And I
Yes.
put my tacos de birria are called quesi taco. Have you
Quesitaco.
had these?
Taco de birria, yes. Quesitaco, no.
Okay.
Which I think is birria with cheese.
Yes. And here's a bonus. It's au jus. So what you do, this is a picture of it. So it's a taco de birria with cheese and you dip it in the
En el consomé de birria.
consomme and it's like I'm just like dipping in and going, come on, soak it up, baby. And just eat it. And then you have the, I'm just like, and then at the end you grab the little bit of consomme and go,
Slurp it.
and here's the kicker, G. I had one place where they had this and they had sopa de maruchan or instant soup in the broth. The broth was, instead of water, how you put
Like
water
noodles?
Yep, the noodles, and it's broth of the consomme, and then you have your taco, and you have the noodles, and it's bomb, G.
Really?
It was mind blowing. So this is this is my favorite taco. This is one of my favorite tacos right now, and when I find there's several here, and I find everywhere wherever they have them, like, oh yeah, give me some of that birria.
I have to go.
Delicious.
Delicious.
All right, number 4. Barbacoa for G, and mine is a buche. Number 4.
Number 4.
Barbacoa. Describe it, please.
Of course, again, barbacoa is cordero, and which is lamb.
Lamb.
Is the and yeah, it's 2 kinds. Maciza, which is like very like you can like tear it apart, and it's for tacos of flautas. Las flautas de barbacoa. Oh my gosh. And pancita, which is the belly of which a lot of spices and onion, cilantro. Oh my god, delicious. Also in taco, yeah, those 2 kinds. And also you have consomé de barbacoa, so you can also drink your consomé and have your taco. You don't dip it necessarily. I mean, you can do that, but yeah, it's like the consomé and the taco.
Consomé, the broth. Okay, number 3.
Suadero campechano.
Suadero de Campeche o de cabeza. Okay.
Oh, okay. Suadero is like the belly of the cow.
Oh, okay.
And it's like very fatty, but it's so tender and so soft, and it's delicious. And you also find suadero with tacos de cabeza, like almost in the same pot where they doing the cabeza. So you can mix cabeza con suadero, or you can have only suadero. And cabeza, like I like to order mine. If it's not lengua, which I adore, you can ask for surtida, which means a lot of kind of cabeza.
Mixed.
Like they just mix it and chop it very nice. Yes, and that would make the taco. So it's my mouth is watering, like literally.
I told you this episode we're not responsible for you drooling or getting upset and wanting to go drive to a taqueria.
Taqueria right now.
Number 2, you put carnitas and I put lengua. Lovely.
Delicious. Carnitas, we talked about those.
The
pork.
Yummy,
and
delicious.
I love nana, el buche, y cuerito. I love those
I love
three.
buche.
I
I
love
love lengua. Oh my gosh, that's my favorite. Like when I see it and it's right. And here's another thing: you don't see a lot of places that makes tacos like this, right? So when I see it, I order it. I'm like, dame.
Yeah.
Like, give it to me.
Yeah,
And you know what? I get upset when they have it in the menu. I order it and they go, "I'm sorry, we're out." I'm like, "You."
Because it goes out like this because it's so good.
All right, and our number one. Pastor for the win.
Of course. Number one.
Yeah. And actually, just looking at my list right now, G, honestly, I think I would put buche above carne asada for me because.
Yeah, I think so.
We eat a lot of that here, so it's like we don't get a lot of buche. So I'm like, when I see it, I want it. Like,
yes.
So.
Just save your appetite for next week, my friend, because
I'm gonna gain some weight when I go out there. That's for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna have some good tacos.
Wow. Well, thank you, G, and thank you everybody for going on this wonderful taco journey with us. Man, I don't know about you, but I'm gonna be dreaming of these tacos tonight.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just hang on for the next week. I insist because yes, next episode we're going to be talking about our journey in Mexico City eating tacos.
Yeah.
Like
so we're gonna call that episode probably like Back to the Motherland or Back to or back to the tierra natal, or they say it, right? So again, thank you for sticking it out. If you're already driving to Taqueria while listening to this episode, you're welcome, and hopefully your family will benefit from your travels.
Yes.
But again, we hope that you enjoyed and learned something new, right? I mean, I think that our goal is what unites us together as Mexicans, one living in the U.S., one in Mexico, but also we want to learn something. We want to learn together. And I learned a lot from G today. There was a lot of things I didn't even know about the sudero, right? Suadero?
Suadero.
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 And then also the campechano. That was something new. Yep. And again, things that we learn from each other. Now, I also learned how Lash hates Taco Bell.
I don't
those
hate
hard
them.
shell tacos.
I just don't get it. But I don't know. I don't hate them. I
don't like them. I'm not a fan. So again, it's funny how you mentioned though it was late at night. You have no option. All right, whatever. I need to eat something.
And we were like, yeah, okay, un taco, like a taco. But no, or maybe I ordered wrong. I don't know.
No, you weren't. I think a lot of people. Hey, you know what? Speaking of that, go ahead and comment down below. What is your favorite tacos? Did we mention one did we forget one that you like that we didn't mention? Make sure to put down below in our comments. Also, let us know what are your thoughts on Taco Bell. If you think they're delicious and maybe you want to tell Lash, hey, I recommend this one. Maybe she'll try it whenever she comes to the US. But don't forget to subscribe, to like us, to share us. I mean, this show is all about you and our community. We want to grow this community. Please do that. But with that, Lasho, we will be seeing you next week. Anything else? Literally, and we'll see what we do. Maybe we'll film something too. But thank you so much.
Pictures, clips, videos. Thank you so much, everybody. We will see you very soon.
Enjoy your tacos, and hasta luego, amigos. I'm gonna finish mine. Bye bye.